Yesterday, the FBI refused a subpoena from the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer for material that could expose criminal activity from President Biden's time as vice president. You have to ask the question, what is so sensitive in the documents that the FBI would reject a congressional subpoena? I hope at some point we'll find out. Also yesterday, Chairman Comer announced that relatives and business associates of President Biden established an elaborate web of corporations that received more than $10 million from foreign nationals, including those with connections to the Communist Party in China. Now, the Biden family appears to have taken steps to conceal both the source and the total amount received from these foreign nationals. Joining me now to discuss this is Congressman Pat Fallon. He serves on the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability, as well as the House Armed Services Committee. He represents the 4th Congressional District of Texas. Congressman Fallon, welcome back to the program.
Tony, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Good to see you.
All right. I watched the press conference yesterday. You were standing right there behind the chairman. This is shocking. Tell us what you have uncovered here.
Well, Tony, every time we uncover one stone, we find two more stones that need uncovering, first of all. So what we found, for a bit of background for your viewers, is the Biden family, really it's a syndicate. If you're doing honest business, first and foremost, we'll know what your business offers, what service or product it provides. We still don't know what Hunter Biden and the Biden family ever provided anyone. And then when you have payments to you, they're made to your company, not to 20 different companies, these LLCs, the majority of which were founded and formed while Joe Biden was vice president. So what we found were several things. One, the Chinese nationals that had tight and close ties to the Chinese Communist Party wouldn't pay Biden directly, Hunter Biden. They'd pay Hunter Biden's associates through shell companies that the Chinese nationals created to create barriers and layers, if you will, between the Communist Party of China and Hunter Biden. And it was to the tune of a total of all of the things that we could find is $10 million. But Tony, in context, we've only subpoenaed bank records for 4 of the 12 banks we believe the Biden family was involved with, and only through some of their known associates. We have not subpoenaed Joe or Hunter Biden's bank records yet, because they'll just lawyer up, and their whole job and mission is to put this off until November of 2024.
So you think there's more out there?
I think there's a lot more. Quite frankly, Tony, from what I've seen and read, I think this is the tip of the iceberg. It's $10 million. Just a few months ago, we could only confirm $1 million. But here's another interesting thing. Like this Romanian national that paid the Biden family over $1 million. They didn't just cut the check for $1 million to one entity. It was always through these, as I said before, these layered companies. But then they would give the Bidens the money in smaller tranches of 10, dozen, 2 dozen, scores of small payments. And it was up to 9 Biden family members, a granddaughter, a niece and a nephew, daughter-in-law, Hunter Biden's ex-wife, Hunter Biden's current wife, and Hunter Biden's mistress. So it just doesn't make sense, and it certainly doesn't pass the smell test, considering also you have, from what we know, 170 suspicious activity reports that were generated by financial institutions, which they have to by law when they suspect fraud or money laundering.
How rare are those? I mean, the average person, how many times would you have a suspicious activity report regarding your banking practices?
Probably, and that's a great question, Tony. The average person probably never. And if you, when I was in business and as an entrepreneur, I did some business with, international business. I don't believe there was ever an SAR generated on me, but it could be 1 or 2, or something odd. But 170, I mean, this is getting absurd. And the mainstream media will not cover this, and they won't do any investigative reporting.
So there's no record anywhere of services or anything provided for these payments?
We can't find it, and the Bidens won't come out. If the Bidens didn't do anything wrong, if Joe Biden was really clean, number one, Tony, he wouldn't have lied in 2019 when he was running for president and said that he never met any of Hunter Biden's business associates, nor did he even know what Hunter Biden was up to. We know that to be categorically false, number one. But if you didn't do anything wrong, then release your bank records voluntarily. And say, heck, I didn't do anything wrong. Here you go. And Hunter should do the same. But they refuse to. In fact, they do the exact opposite of that.
Now, these funds came from foreign nationals. Any of it directly from foreign governments?
No, they were always smart. Yeah, it was like I said yesterday. They're smart enough not to be that stupid, and there were all these individuals acting on the behest. That's how the Chinese Communist Party works, though. They've got their their underlings out there influencing business, influencing public opinion, influencing politics, influencing Hollywood elites, and they call them friends of China. And there's a big giant list of it out there, and it includes all sorts of different people. And obviously, the Bidens, I believe, are on that list.
So let's go to this form that was subpoenaed, this whistleblower form that the FBI has refused to release to the committee based on this subpoena. Where does it fit into this whole elaborate scheme that it appears you've uncovered?
Well, what we also have, Tony, is whistleblowers, and whistleblowers need that whistleblower protection. We had one come out a few months back that was a senior supervisory special agent that claimed that the Treasury Department was protecting Hunter Biden. Highly credible. And then Senator Grassley had a highly credible source that said that there was what they call an FD 1023. That's when the FBI interviews you. It's unverified information. But this whistleblower said, I went and talked to them, and they have this report. And so when we asked for it, I was really, really angry yesterday when I found out that they refused to release it. If it's nothing there and it's not credible, then release it. And if it's highly credible, what have you been doing sitting on it for all this time?
Good question.
It was filed in 2020.
Really good question. We're up against a break going out here, but Congressman Fallon, I just want to ask you a question. Based on what you have seen with your own eyes, do you believe there has been criminal activity here?
Absolutely, 100%. I think, Tony, you could liken this to Watergate. The more we investigate, the more we find. But, Watergate was the fourth estate. Watergate was the press. They refused to do this, so the Oversight Committee has to do it ourselves.
And in the process, the media wants to demonize you and marginalize what you're bringing forth. Congressman Fallon, always welcome here. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Tony. God bless you. Take care.